Okay, so here's a card people are probably going to be a little more interested in than some of the others, which is one of the new Planeswalkers. It's Sarkhan the Mad. 3, a black, and a red. And with 7 loyalty to start. So he gets a huge loyalty counter to start. But he has no plus abilities, so that's the highest he's ever going to get. He has 0. Reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand. And then Sarkhan the Mad deals damage to himself equal to the card's converted mana cost. So you get a land every time, that's nice. And then he still just kind of stays out there as kind of a card drawing engine for your lands. So, if you get another Sarkhan, he starts to kill himself pretty quickly. But if you can see the top card of your library for some reason, that could be nice. Or if you just have a really low casting cost for your deck in general. -2, target creature's controller sacrifices it, and then that player puts a 5/5 red dragon creature token with flying onto the battlefield. So, generally you're going to target your own guy with that. And, so that's fine. You make one of your little 2/2 guys like a 5/5 flyer. So that's not bad. -4, each dragon creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target player. So, I don't really see that ability being used very much, But if it'll win you the game that turn, sure, -4 to do 5 to them, and then hit them for another 5 with the dragon. Mostly I would see you using the first 2 abilities. I don't think he's that exciting. Time will tell if he's good enough. Make him a 5. That's going to start attacking him. He can't keep himself bigger. Hard for him to... It's not too hard for him to protect himself, at least, because you attack with all your guys, and then you sack one, and then you get a 5/5 dragon untapped, which you can block with. It's definitely an interesting design space. I like the direction they're going. As far as the artwork goes, I think it's pretty solid. I don't know. I don't know how that one's going to shake out. 5 mana is a lot, and he seems like more of an aggro card than a control card, so the 5 casting cost seems a little prohibitive. I'm going to think right now that he's probably going to be a mediocre Planeswalker. Some people will try and play him. I don't think he's going to make it into a lot of decks. I could see him maybe getting played in Jund, just because you can sack like a token or a Thrinax and get a 5/5 flyer, and it just gives them something else they have to deal with. But in the Jund versus Jund matchup, they're going to start being able to take out your Sarkhan pretty quick. But then, a 5/5 dragon's pretty hard for Jund to deal with. I don't know. So, maybe. And if he gets some play in Jund, or it becomes popular as a 2-of in Jund or a 1-of in Jund, then, he'll be worth $5-6. So, alright. Next is Khalni Hydra, which is 8 green mana for an 8/8 trample, which costs 1 less to cast for each green creature you control. I think this guy, he's a mythic too. I think this guy sucks. Sure, you elf ball a bunch of guys out, and then you drop your Hydra. But if you have that many creatures out, you should be winning anyway. And there's another guy for 6 mana that's an 8/8 that can't be countered, that has trample, right? I believe. In Zendikar, right? So what's exciting about this guy? He's just not exciting. So, no, not impressed. Artwork looks fine. Not great, but fine. Not impressed at all. Yeah, sorry. Another big green creature fail. Okay. Artisan of Kozilek. 9 colorless for another Eldrazi. For a 10/9. So he's definitely big. When you cast him, you can return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Doesn't work very well with a lot of the other Eldrazi, but it works well with Emrakul's Hatcher. So, Annihilator 2. So definitely fine. Could be pretty solid and limited, depending if you build your deck right. He's uncommon, so you'll see him around. Definitely big, and the Annihilator 2 is definitely pretty mean. Okay, Vent Sentinel. I don't care for the artwork, by the way, on Artisan of Kozilek. It's just bad, in my opinion. Vent Sentinel, 3 and a red for a 2/4 elemental defender. Colorless and a red, tap. He deals damage to target player equal to the number of creatures with defender you control. So another card in the defender deck, I guess. Although the fact that he costs mana to use his ability, I think is bad. I think it could have just been a tap. It would have been fine. And the artwork is terrible. So not very excited about that one. 4 for a 2/4. Yeah. It's just not exciting at all. I wouldn't play him very highly or take him very highly. I board him in against decks that the 2/4 is really good against, I guess. Okay. Now we've got Angel Heart Vial. 5 colorless. This is an actual artifact. Whenever you're dealt damage, you may put that many charge counters on Angel Heart Vial. Pay 2, tap it, remove 4 charge counters from Angel Heart Vial. You gain 2 life, and you draw a card. Is it good? No, I don't think so. I think it's pretty bad. So, you dealt 4 damage, you put 4 counters on it, you pay 2, you gain 2 of that back, you draw a card. It's slow, it's clunky, and it's not negating the attack. I think it's really bad. The artwork is relatively cool. It's fine, but yeah, bad card. Alright, so now we have a kind of a Mephistopheles looking demon here. 3 and triple black for a 6/6 flyer. Mythic. Flying. And whenever he deals damage to a player, you sacrifice all of the permanents you control and discard your hand. Then you exile the top 6 cards of your library, and you can cast any number of non-land cards exiled that way without paying their mana cost. Now, he's decent, right? Definitely interesting, very cool artwork. Definitely has a mythic feel, so I'm perfectly fine with him being mythic. The only problem I have with him is that he doesn't protect himself very well. You know, would have been nice if he had protection from a couple colors or something. People are talking about him being a hypergenesis target or a polymorph or something like that. Different things like that. I'm not too excited by him. The fact that Baneslayer's in the format and he's a demon makes him worse. So he's fine, but I wouldn't expect him to be a high tournament card anytime soon. In Limited, obviously, he's pretty amazing. So you don't need your lands anymore, and casting 6 random permanents is probably, reasonable enough every turn.